With this license, students can use their time during breaks and weekends to explore lower difficulty dungeons with pro adventurers. With this, they can gain experience for when they become adventurers themselves. However, a few rare exceptions exist. Warrior High School Student Council. Composed of the few elites who possess unimaginable talent within Warrior High, they're a group of people unofficially recognized as professionals. Not only do they have enough influence to talk with the board of directors to influence their rights and responsibilities, but they also work with professional attack teams to participate in large-scale raids for monsters 5 stars and beyond. As such, the student council members at Warrior High are considered unofficial pros within the adventurer community, and they're mostly people rumored to be the next rankers. A third year, so she's 2 years older than us. And the president. Ah, alright. Fine. That should be the case, but she's a second year. Huh, did she fail a year? Be quiet. That's not it. She stole the original president's spot. Steal. How? I told you. Our school is strictly based on skill. That's when the greatest event in our school occurred. She challenged all of the sunbays within the student council. And before the first semester was even over, she managed to defeat everyone, including the president, within the student body council. And became the youngest president. Stop with the nagging. I'm leaving. Thank God nothing else happened. Let's make a bet. Looks like you're pretty busy too, so I'll make it quick. I've heard that you're pretty famous within the school, so I'm sure you had your reasons to show your bad side to a junior of yours. Just one bet. If I lose, he's all yours. Okay. Are you crazy? Sorry about that. You said bet, so I'm sure there's something I need to do if I lose, right? I love that you understand things quickly. Why don't we try something called shadow sparring? Shadow sparring, originating from an old martial arts training method, it's a basic training method for hand-to-hand combat. Whoever touches the opponent first, or forces the opponent in an unfavorable position, loses. If we do that and I lose, I'll give up my time with him to you. Since it's based on the individual's agility and skill without risk of injury. And if you lose, it's a method used universally by everyone. When I transfer next year, I want you to give me that student council president position. He has to be crazy. When did he learn about shadow sparring? There's no way she would agree unless she's crazy. Interesting. Alright, that wager, I accept it. Yu Jar Young. Atelier High. Atelier, Durability Test Room. Are you insane? You still have a chance. The chairman is a rational person, it can be resolved with just a simple apology from them. I'd understand if you were fully healthy, but what do you think you can do with your arm like that? Even if you do win, there's no way she would simply hand over the student president position to you. I won't win. What? Even if I was perfectly healthy, I still wouldn't stand a chance. She's too strong. You made that wager knowing you would lose. Then the time we're spending here is just a waste. Well, don't worry about it. I understand why you're confused, but just trust me. That's what he said, but, what can we gain from a fight where we already know the outcome? Is he going to lose on purpose to get on her good side? No, he's not that foolish to try something like that. Sorry. I don't have anything to say, but I'm sorry. I know she's supposed to be the leader of the student council, but instead of being welcoming, she only speaks the truth. To Ms. Jean Sarum, allow me to apologize. You even made time to come here. No, there's no need to apologize in this situation. The situation came down to this because of his unreasonable stubbornness. I'm not sure about that. Pardon? I don't know much about the individual who came with you. However, I'm confident I know his intention. Ah, I'm sure you're aware. I'm not going to use both my arms, got it? That's the only way that this will be fair. Sure, it doesn't matter to me. I'll just take it as an excuse for when you lose. The two of them were surprised for different reasons. There was no power behind it, but it was fast. I didn't even see her move closer to him. The reason why Sarum was surprised was the speed of the attack. Shadow sparring is a defensive training exercise. In order to make contact with the opponent, one must take the risk of exposing themselves. However, Han Gaeun showed no hesitation or fear. Just an attack. And the speed to back up. Her endless pride. If it was me, would see. Ah. Ms. Sarum. I'm not sure if I'm the first to ask this question, but, Han Songwoo Atelier's head designer and chairman. That student, are you sure he's preparing to transfer to Warrior High? Former ranking adventurer career High Green, 31st. Just by looking at the calculated data that Ms. Sarum sent over, I had no doubt that he would be a talented boy. But this is beyond what I expected. He too, a decade ago, was an adventurer filled with energy. That's why he understood Jeryeong's intent. It's not because of pride, to show off, or to look down at Gaeun. It was merely, to know more. Gaeun is already stronger than most people of her age. If she gained some experience and skill, I wouldn't doubt she would be as strong as some of the lower rankers. That boy merely wants to experience it. The point that he has to reach. No, the distance that he needs to catch up to. It's been a while. After entering high school, I don't think anyone has been able to dodge my attacks for this long. I'm impressed by you. I didn't think you'd be able to last like that. Your arm isn't the only thing that you hurt, is it? Based on your movement and stamina, seems like you're not even 50% healthy. You think? When have you seen what I'm capable of? I did. You were pretty fast when you fought the Horned Horror. In the last 4 days, I've seen that video of you hundreds of times. I'm a fan. The famous hero, the unknown Mr. A, how about this? Let's call it a tie, and we can continue this next time. Once you enter our school, we can continue where we left off after you fully heal. What are they talking about? I don't think I want to end things here. You can go with my uncle as scheduled and, I can't believe you. Your keen eye, and that groundless confidence of yours. Or, maybe it's not confidence, but you just don't understand what's going on, do you? I don't have any intention of accepting a draw here. Don't you remember we have the student council president position on the line? I don't intend to give up, so let's stop wasting time and continue what we were doing. Alright, I get it now. He's just bluffing, that's what the three people looking at Jeryeong thought. There's nothing to gain even if they continue. The chance that he just wasted was the best outcome he could have gotten. That's unfortunate. Personally, I like people with ambition. However, that wasn't ambition, rather just idiocy. I'm a little disappointed. He moved first. I knew it, he's been holding back this entire time, no. I don't think we can just say that he was holding back. I was completely wrong. He wasn't merely trying to gauge his strength against Gaeun. At most, they've only fought in 30 short sprints. But in those short moments, he's perfectly learned and copied her movements. It was never a matter of winning or losing. A monster. The reason why he asked for this chance was to steal Gaeun's skill. So this is how you do it. Jaryong worked as a smuggler since he was little. Dodging, that's how you should move. And there was one rule that he always followed, no matter what happens. What are you staring at? Let's continue. There's more I want to see from you. Technique is not just a strike with enough force to knock someone out. To bring out the full potential of an individual, the optimized stance and movement. To the way of breathing, even the build-up to the smallest steps. What makes all of these small details important, above all else, is time. People devote their time and passion to build experience. Gaining knowledge through repeated success and failure. This knowledge is then passed down to future generations for further improvement. Even with impressive talent, there is no way to overcome that knowledge on your own. Thanks to natural talent, Jaryong was able to steadily grow stronger by himself. However, when he reached 17 years old and his physical growth began to slow down, he was faced with the truth. There was a barrier that halted his growth. In order to grow stronger, he needed to break down that wall. What are you so hesitant about? I believe I made myself clear. You keep saying we can continue this later, but I'm pretty sure I'll get into Warrior High, and you mentioned that you would gladly teach a junior like me. Well, I guess you have thoughts like that to avoid losing. I understand, Sunbae. Uncle, do you remember what I asked for last time? The attack squads that wanted to sign a deal with me. You mentioned that I should go visit them since you'd rather that I build a positive reputation. I'll listen to you. In return, don't stop me. Gaeun, you. What do you mean, you wanted to see me dodge, right? All right. Try to make me dodge your attack. Right, no, here. When it comes to human motion, there are connections between each movement. Each movement has a precursor and a subsequent movement. When watching someone, you subconsciously predict what's next. They'll continue walking or prepare for something. Han Gaeun is using that fact to her advantage. By skipping the movements in between, you can fool the perception of people watching. Not only is it difficult to predict what will happen next, each move is perceived to be much faster than it actually is. This is the result of decades of work, the technique that Han Gaeun's father created. And was famous for being able to successfully pull it off. Flash. To use flash twice in a row, and he even managed to use it in a way that Gaeun hasn't shown off yet. Forget the fact that he managed to understand the principle of the technique. Flash isn't a technique that can be easily replicated by merely knowing the principle. Flexibility, reflexes, and above all else, timing, are critical. If any of those are out of tune, the technique doesn't work. I didn't learn the flash technique from my brother until my early 20s. Although I was supposed to be in my prime. It took me 3 months to learn how to use the technique. I also had to learn how to use it while sparring with Gaeun, and to think he's able to use it with his whole body. As Han Song-woo thought, Jaryong was in terrible condition. After all he had done, he was almost out of energy. I can become much stronger than before. He experienced a sense of enjoyment in learning that he had never felt before. Though it wasn't a normal way to learn, he found a reason to become much stronger. And learned how to do exactly that. He learned not because he had to, but because he finally realized that the process of learning was fun. He finally learned how to do it and what was possible. Jaryong forgot about all of his pain and fatigue. Seriously, didn't I say not to stop us? Well. I'm glad that things ended before you had to get involved, though. That's unfortunate. I lost. It's my loss. What are you talking about? I said that I wouldn't use my hands, that's what you said on your own. I didn't expect you to keep up that statement, in the first place. Regardless of whether you used your hands or not, I still got hit. Well, I'm sure you're acting like this because you're embarrassed by what happened, but let's be honest with ourselves. You're not that strong anyways. I believe that there's no real reason to decide who won the spar. It was my fault for not handling things on my own. Looking at your current state, I think it's difficult to settle the score now. However, why don't we call today a draw or a learning experience? You can settle it later. When Jaryong is fully healed up, we can organize an official match between the two of you. Well, if that's what you suggest. Listen to me. The next time we meet, it'll be at school. If you happen to fail the transfer test, or lose to someone before fighting me again, I won't forgive you. For Jaryong, the duel that they had, whether he won or lost, was a precious and exciting moment. Meeting someone her age that is able to live up to her expectations. What's your name? It's Jean Sarum. She had finally met someone able to rival her. Alright, Jean Sarum. You're the one who's sponsoring him. Yes, well, let me apologize. I don't know how skilled you are as an adventurer, but it seems that you're not completely useless. However, experiencing joy for the first time, you have an eye for people. Jaryong wasn't the only one that day. This is killing me. I'm just glad that you don't need to go to the hospital. Nobody told you to do something like that. You can tell me off later. I feel like I'm going to throw up. But seriously, I was surprised. The result of the duel is one thing, but I never thought that she would admit defeat. Even by decision, I think you won. Although they were rules that she decided upon, during the time she started using her hands, I'm not sure. I broke those rules first. When I took off my arm sling and started fighting, both of us weren't fighting with the intention of winning the duel. When it comes to crossing the line, I was the first one to do it. I knew it, I knew there was something different about him. During the final moments, I tried everything. I don't think it would have ended with simple injuries if she got hit. Although, I knew she'd be able to dodge most of it. If I was in the same position, I would have used my hands too. There was no other option, and it was only fair. Then, what if you and the president fought at full strength? Huh, weren't you asking me why I fought in the first place? Seems like you were immersed in the fight. What? They're here. Thanks for waiting. Coca-Cola Minix Dominix. I'm sorry. My niece caused you plenty of issues. I should have taken you out for some proper food. I'm just thankful that you brought us food. Plus, I don't really have good taste in food. As long as there's a lot, it's fine. He finished a large-sized pizza in under 2 minutes. Adventurers, especially close-range dealers, consume an average of 5 times the calories needed by ordinary people. Well, I never really thought about it, but he's been unconscious for the past 4 days without eating anything. Allow us to hurry and start talking about work. Feel free to continue eating. I'm sure that Sarum is aware, but my atelier doesn't deal with leather, rather, a material that exceeds the ability of leather. Unlike most places that use plant fiber, we use the fibers from high-ranked monsters as the main ingredient. Mountain spider danger rank. We use our patented techniques to produce the perfect material, by creating a blend that perfectly suits the user. Banka Giga Moth, Cocoon, danger rank when hatched. Once we finish the final coating stage, it creates a lighter and stronger material compared to leather. When it comes to Jaryong, to be honest, I think we're already set on what blend and what kind of clothes we need to make. We have the data that we received from the Jinseong group, and I've already seen what he's capable of. I just have one issue, rather, something that I continue to question. What is it? Like I said, the last step in creating the fabric is coating. It's a process that involves coating the fabric in oil to increase its integrity and various resistances. Yes, you already mentioned that. That's why I requested that the coating be done with the highest grade material. The issue is that gathering the highest rank oil, at this current moment, is near impossible. The oil that we used was the oil from the ravenous whale from the deep sea. Although supply was limited, we had a contract that practically gave us a monopoly, but due to unexpected circumstances, it seems that the hunt rate has dropped to 0. While we do have materials that can replace it, I can promise you that there is little to no difference between the two coatings, but even if that's the case, it's considered a breach of contract. It's a mistake that should have never been made. Ms. Saram, even if Jaryong refuses to work with us, I have nothing to say. But after all this time, if that's your intent, I can personally introduce you to a master leather craftsman. He creates defensive armor using leather. Of course, I'll be sure to pay for the cost and time that it'll take to create everything. Then, I don't really care. If there's not much of a difference in quality, I don't use expensive equipment anyways. Above all else, I want to use the equipment that you make. It was you, right? The one who taught your niece her skills. I don't know much about equipment, but I'd prefer it if someone strong made it for me. If that's what he wants, then I think we should go with his opinion. I knew there was something wrong with today. A strong person. It's been over 10 years since I retired, but I'm still embarrassed to hear that. Even then, I won't lie when I say that it feels nice to hear. When did you eat everything? I understand. If you trust me, I'll be sure to do my best to live up to your expectations. The more I think about it, the more I feel disappointed about what happened last week. There was a large-scale raid that I was excited for. I was hoping that I could get some incredible material that I could use. Have you heard about the Imperial Wasp? I heard that royal jelly was a rare item that only they could drop. You're right. It's the most famous, but among equipment manufacturers, there is another drop that's considered to be the dream material. Black wax. It's a material made by the Imperial Wasps. If royal jelly is the material used to grow the queen, the black wax is the material used to protect the queen. Among the many groups of Imperial Wasps, only a rare few create black wax to cover the queen. If I could use that to coat your equipment, I would be able to make something incredible. I've never seen it in person, though. Does it look like this? I used to have a picture, but my old phone got destroyed, so I just drew it. A little thick. How? No, wait. If you have a picture, does that mean you've seen it in person before? I smuggled it. Arrested. I saw it when I went to her house. Rich people really have everything. You even had that. Yeah, I'm at the hospital. Well, I don't really have any plans right now. I needed to see someone before I came here anyways. You think it's going to take about an hour? Perfect. I should be finished around that time too. So, have you eaten? I have, but, if you're gonna eat, I'll eat with you. I'm still hungry too. Want to pay for half? I might have a stomachache, though. I knew it. Alright, anyways, call me when you're here. I think I need to hang up. Looks like my plans have just arrived. It's been a while, why don't we talk outside? It hasn't been long since he fell asleep after getting shot with the sedative, and even if that wears off, this is a hospital, right? It's unkind to make too much noise in here. An attack team led by one man, allegedly called a myth, had disbanded. We can just stay quiet if that's the issue. Zeke Eskersaram, current rank 7 of the Republic of Korea, former healer for the Taibik attack squad. And now, wow, you're still the same. I never thought you'd still be able to piss off people that easily. Well, you're not wrong, these two men, who used to call each other allies. I'll be honest, I don't think I can control myself. Have met once again. I think I'm too elated to see you once again. Im Jae-hwan, former adventurer. We're on the same side, aren't we? That's why, former rank 5 of the Republic of Korea before retirement, former main dealer for the Taibik attack squad. Just shut up and follow me, asshole. Seriously, are you going to keep surprising me like that? That black wax. Wasn't it the item inside the chest when we first met? If you had something like that, you should have at least told me beforehand. What am I supposed to do when you come at me like that? Well, I didn't know it would be something like that. Thanks for playing along though. Just like when we met with Argius, we can't do things the easy way, can we? By the way, do you have any plans right now? Yeah, I promised to meet with someone. I'm leaving now. If it's not far, I can give you a ride, huh? Uncle Zeke. Wait, let me take this call. I'm leaving now. Should I head to the hospital? Okay. It's already getting chilly at night. If September is like this year is going to be cold. Did Ms. Saram go home already? She had to take a call from someone. It shouldn't take long. Oh, I'm not here because I needed to share something. I'm just taking a smoke. The skill that you learned today is called Flash. It was created by my retired brother. In other words, by Gaeun's father. I did participate in its development too. I'm sorry. To think that the creator of that skill would be here, I should have thought about that. Allow me to apologize for using the skill without permission. I won't use it ever again. No. That's not why I brought that up. I think you misunderstood something. There is no special ownership or copyright when it comes to the skills of adventurers. The only thing is that we become hesitant to teach others the skills we developed. However, it's not a crime if someone manages to learn it on their own. If it's a skill that can be easily copied, it is bound to be used by everyone at some point. Is it fine if I smoke? Still, that skill isn't easy in any way, huh, is that so? Jaryong, you told me you had never learned skills properly, right? At first, I mistakenly thought that you had a weak base. But seeing your face during the duel cleared it up for me. Such a passionate child like you would have never gotten lazy and skipped the basics. I'm not sure why that happened, but I don't think that's for me to question. However, I want to give you some advice that might be of help for you. You have a real talent. With some time and effort, you're bound to show off your true strength. Not just getting into Warrior High School, but becoming one of the great adventurers won't be hard for you. Ha, ha. That is what your skills are capable of. This world, especially the adventurer business, is not a place where everyone just admires each other's strength. Of course, there will always be people who acknowledge your power and look up to you. On the other hand, there will also be plenty of those who envy you. They'll try to control you, but if they fail, they'll try to destroy you. Well, I guess you might be well aware of stories like this. So, are you telling me to hide what I'm capable of? To avoid the attention of those dangerous people? What? No, the exact opposite. Why hide that talent of yours? It's not something that you can hide anyways. If you play it small, people will only look down on you. Instead, just do whatever you want. Show off your true self. A genius that nobody can approach. As long as you're capable, do everything that you can. Steal as many skills that you deem useful. Even if someone were to cause an issue about that, do not bow down like you did just now. Instead, be sure to raise your voice. You're not the one in the wrong. The people who let you steal those skills are. Are you saying that, it's up to you to decide who's right or wrong, Mr. Jaryong? To be precise, it's the right of the strong. Even if it's a stolen skill, if you are able to use it properly and can bring it to the next level, then you can say that it is truly yours. I understand how you feel. I'm sure this is odd advice to hear from an adult as a child. However, this is the world of adventurers that is ruled by the strong. My niece's personality, just like you saw, is on the extreme. People may say that I should round her out as an adult, but I have no intention of doing so. She's a picky and boisterous genius. While they may be all afraid of Gaeun, they will never look down on her. And I'm sure that you will also. Take this call. Oh, you were here too. Call. Why should I? It's my uncle. He knew that I was taking you here. He asked if you were nearby and told me to put you on the phone. Hello. I'm sorry if you were in the middle of something. I didn't intend to contact you so soon, but there's an issue. Can you come here right now? What? I understand. I'll be right there. Is there really a secret path to the dungeon? It's not just here. Unofficial entrances to the dungeons are all over the closed subway stations. Each entrance has a different owner. This one is ours. He's inside. You came faster than I expected. I wasn't planning on calling you, but he said he'd rather die than get healed and carried by me. I don't know what's going on, but it seems like you're not on good terms with him. Did they fight with the manager? If I knew you would be this fast, I would have asked for a t-shirt. Who is he? I like your eyes. Are you the one who managed to land a hit on Mr. Zeke? You're pretty famous in our attack squad. I don't know your name though, the team that is stronger than high-ranked monsters. Did you know? The captain wants to meet with you. He might be looking to call dibs on you. Stop the pointless conversation. We're heading out. I'm done, and there's no point in staying here this long. Seriously, when they told me you needed help, I thought you were in a serious condition. I am in a pretty serious condition. My body and pride are in shreds. Cowardly bastard. I was wondering why he came with me, but it turned out he wasn't alone. I already know the answer, but do you have a lighter? Why would I? What is that light? Didn't the sun already set? Then, could you bring me that? I'm too tired to move. What the fuck were you fighting about? Did he say we fought? I was just going to burn him to a crisp. The young one he came with is impressive. He's not a tank, but his defensive skills were pretty solid. If he trains for a decade, he might become a big shot later on. Maybe half of your father. Sir, I have something to tell you. I know. If it's about quitting as a poacher, feel free to do it whenever. However, if it's about becoming an adventurer, I have a condition. A condition. I want you to perfectly understand what I'm about to teach within a month. If you can't, you're better off not becoming an adventurer. It won't be easy since it's not in the same category as your talent. Wait, sir. Don't tell me. Yeah. I'll be teaching you magic. Did you say, magic? I want to ask what you're talking about. For now though. EA. Are you okay? If you can't stand, why don't we just sit down and... His body is cold, it's not that he's just tired. I guess I have no choice. Get on my back. Making coffee with your own beans, it seemed really hard at first. Coffee on the net roasted and packed by Coffee Co. Cedar Rapiol. But with practice, I understood it wasn't all that hard. There were mistakes made along the way, but it was fun learning. If I knew I'd enjoy it this much, I would have started earlier. It would have been a nice hobby to enjoy during my prime. Stop talking about things like your prime. It's as if you're really retired. I'm Jae-hwan, 26 at the time. That's because I really am retired. In order to fix this,